Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the DC Direct Blackest Night Series 3 Carol Ferris the Star Sapphire. Or one of the Star Sapphires if you prefer. Of course, get a look at her in the packaging. Of course, she comes with her base and her lantern. It's getting more and more disappointing that we always get the same lantern recolored after we got... I really don't understand why DC Direct put out a little more effort on the Red Lantern's lantern and then just said screw it with everyone else. Now, little something some people may not know is that Star Sapphire is a re-release figure from Wave 3, where she had a different paint job, didn't come with a Star Sapphire base, and didn't come with a lantern. And it looks like they've done some pretty major tweaking to her paint job. I can see some glitter in there. But, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. It looks like up here on her eyes are painted blood red, and looks like they're looking in two different directions, honestly. We'll get a better look at that once she's out of the packaging. Of course, back here, let's get this glare off the box. Her little bit up here says, as many women before her over the millennia, Carol Ferris was chosen to serve as the host for the queen of an immortal race of female guardians known as the Zemoras. Sensing a dramatic shift in the emotional power spectrum of the universe with the coming Blackest Night, the Zemoras channel the power of love through the lens of the Star Sapphire gem, building a core of violet-powered agents. So, of course, down here you have Wave 1, 2, and coming soon, Wave 4. Of course, they've already announced 6 waves of Blackest Night figures. That being said, let's pull her out of the packaging. And here Star Sapphire is out of the packaging. Now, unfortunately, we have to start off the review with bad news. Pulling her lantern out of packaging, the top of it snapped in half. As you can see here, I have it taped just until I can go to the store and buy some super glue. Now, I really was about to chalk this up to carelessness on my part, but I pulled several lanterns out of packaging with no problems, and it's not like I suddenly went, I'll do it less carefully this time, and it snapped right in half. So that's disappointing, not to mention the fact that DC Direct still hasn't fixed this problem where the lantern prongs slide out, but it really doesn't matter, seeing as she has no way to hold her lantern, besides the fact she can't really balance on her base. One hand is a fist, one hand is open. That lantern is pointless, just like with John Stewart. And really, if you're gonna give us the lantern, give us a way to hold the lantern, otherwise it's pointless. And of course, like you just saw, while she can fit on her base, it's not exactly a wonderful thing. She loves to fall over. Constantly. Come on. There we go. So, the broken lantern is already a small flaw in it, but you can't hold it, so it's not like I'm heartbroken over it. Let's get a look at her face there, and just like I thought, her eyes are looking in two different directions. That is not the power of the Star Sapphires. Now, I'm personally not crazy about this new paint job. You can see there's some glitter in it. And it's a translucent plastic all the way around. I'm definitely not crazy about that, but I think that falls down to more personal taste. I much prefer the way she appeared in the Green Lantern Series 3. Of course, now let's pull her off her base, which isn't a very hard thing to do. She's constantly about to fall over. Let's see if she'll stand. Not really. Anyways, that's her base. Standard Star Sapphire base. We'll be getting a Star Sapphire Wonder Woman in Wave 6. Onto our articulation, which... intense, very, very slight head movement, very hindered by her hair, as you can see here. Some surprisingly free arm movement, I'll give it that. Although, feels very delicate in the arms. There's definitely some care that needs to be applied here when dealing with her arms. Of course, but, actually, I'm even afraid to bend her at the elbow. Legs move up to here, back to here, and both bend at the knee. So, that being said, there is no end of disappointment to me with this figure. I'm not crazy about the new paint job, but that's really the only thing I chalk up to personal taste on this figure. The lantern broke, and I know how to remove a lantern for packaging, so I'm chalking that up to quality control. So, there's a risk factor in buying this. Not to mention the fact that she's constantly falling off her base. And her eyes are looking in two different directions. For God's sakes, how do you miss something like that? So, if you have Star Sapphire from Series 3, there's no need to buy this. as a Blackest Night fan, I'm glad we got a Star Sapphire, but really, this is just kind of pointless. If you're just kind of casually collecting the line and you're not picking out every figure like I am picking up, there is no reason to buy this figure. If you gotta have Star Sapphire, go with Series 3. And this is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube. Hey everybody, sorry for the tack on again, but like with Black Lantern Aquaman, I also forgot to talk about the detail on the ring. But much like with Black Lantern Aquaman, it's pretty much unnoticeable. It's just such a very bland. It's just like they sculpted a tiny new ring on there, although there is some small detail on there, and just painted over it. So it's a really minor little add-on, and once again, it's not very impressive. None of the rings really are in the Blackest Night line. This is JTrain997 saying I'll see you soon, YouTube.